But because he was who he was, I shifted, I can't say that is necessarily that he saw that I was going to be a compliant, because I wasn't. That just wasn't my personality. But I guess he was mine. I didn't know it, but it was something about him that, I guess, his leadership, who he is, how he came at me, that I eventually changed. So sometimes I know you do have some people, and it's their prerogative to be like, I don't want to take the time to have to adjust. You know what I'm saying? To make you adjust. I'll rather find someone else that is going to be an easier task for me to do that. So those people have that option. But what I think is that sometimes we jump out of stuff so quick when when stuff isn't going our way, or if it's not smooth enough or what have you, and not give the person the time to make necessary changes. If I met you when I was 26, I had 26 years of habits and behaviors that I've learned. And to think that you're going to be able to get with me and then I'm going to just change everything like that at the drop of a hat is unrealistic. So it is about giving some time for that person to adapt and grow. Like, I'm so not like I was when I first met him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you experienced a luxury. That's all it was. You got the benefit of the doubt for some reason, and he saw fit to do that. But
you know what it was, though, Harrison? You know what it was? She wasn't as bad as she thinks she was. That's really what it is. You thought you were terrible.
I don't think she was from New York and he was from New York, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, girls be like, I was terrible. No, he dated other women, you know.
He definitely did.
Thing, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. His baby's mother, like when I look at the both of us and we're like so different. She was compliant, like very compliant, and I'm just like, dang, why because that just wasn't my personality. Mm-hmm. But I think over the more time we spend together and then over the years, you do make adjustments. So I can definitely say I'm much more patient than I was when I first met him. I'm less likely to pop off when I first met him. Like, a lot has changed. I know that I've grown and changed in those areas, but he took the time and gave me patience to allow me to do that. Had he just been like, nah, I'm not, like, I don't, we wouldn't be where we're at now. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I do think you need to give the person time to make the adjustments before you just,
So I think this actually goes more to what you're saying, goes more to trigger Mike's point. You said that his baby mama was a bit more subdued than you were. I don't know how long you knew her or how well you knew her. Maybe that was more him than her. Just like you, who you are now, maybe attributed more to him than necessarily you. Yeah, you got to make the adjustment, but it might be his communication style. It might be a whole bunch of little things that makes him, which goes more to trigger Mike's point when he says that he feels like he can get probably most women to fall in line. It might have more to do with your husband than any of you women.
Oh, absolutely. I know it was him because I didn't even realize or recognize that I was changing. The reason I recognized is from what other people were saying. Like, oh, you let him do that before? You would have never. And, so other people were pointing it out, whereas I didn't notice it in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So then after a while, I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I was okay with with being who I, started changing into, it didn't make me feel like, oh yeah, let me snap back real quick to kind of show up, off in front of the people who were saying that I would never do that. It was just like, this was just a natural progression of being in a relationship. You make adjustments, you make changes if you care about the person, and I just changed.
So I just want to make one other point, and I kind of want to point it back to the video. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna use your husband as a quick example, because he had a baby mama, and you could have easily had been the woman that says, no, that child can't come to my house. I don't think you're built that way. But let's just say you were that woman. He's that man that would have said, yes, my child is coming to our home, and regardless if it's in your name or not, he would have said, yes, this child is coming to our home. And if you would have said no and been stuck on a firm no, then he would have said, thank you for your time. Have a nice day. We also have to be willing to let women go. If we are already going to be, we're already held accountable and responsible for everything that happens inside the home as the leaders of the home, we have to assume that leadership role, which means that if there's a female that's not going to abide by, and I hate to say it that way, but abide by to what we see the direction of the home, we have to let her go. That is 150% on us. If we all agree that women control the access to sex and men control the access to relationships, that means we shouldn't be having a relationship with that kind of woman. We give them time, yes, maybe, but if she's just going to sit firm on that, to the hell with what you're talking about, we have to say to the hell with what you're talking about. Just my 2 cents.
So I agree with that, AP, and I think the other thing is that there's a whole lot of just dopamine fiends walking around here. You just need that fix of happiness, right? And people don't understand delayed gratification anymore. Our brains are wired differently than they used to be. I think so many people just aren't willing to see it through because there's no guarantee for the result. Whereas if I get somebody who fits now, then, we'll find a way to work. That might not be it either, right? The divorce rates are 50-50 at this point, right? It's a coin toss. It could work, it could not work. But I think you're right, mistaken. If people gave each other a chance to grow together, to conform to each other, I think there would be a lot more success in relationships. I just don't know how you implement that with people who need that instant gratification. Because the one question when this comes up that I see over and over again, well, how long do I give that person? To me, it's easy. As long as that person's making progress, you keep giving them time. But if my brain is wired in a way where if I'm not seeing perfection on D2, D3, people are getting tossed to the side as if they're disposable.
And to your point, AP, when I met him, I have a daughter, I have a child. It was day one. If you're gonna be with me, we are a package deal. Period. You know what I'm saying? He established that from day one. So there was never a question or issue about what my role was going to be in relation to him. You understand what I'm saying? There wasn't a situation where you're asking permission. Can my child come over? Nah. It was such and such is coming on Saturday through Tuesday, and then she'll be with her mom Wednesday through Friday. It wasn't an ask, it was a here's what the setup is going to be. And because I knew he had a kid, it wasn't a question. It wasn't well, why? It wasn't. I knew he had a kid from day one. So if I didn't want to deal with that, then I wouldn't have got with him in a serious relationship. And she ended up actually coming to live with us from the age of 9. So
whoa. Oh, the daughter. No, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, no, not her mother.
Hell yeah.
No. So I raised her from 9 until, well,
let me find out.
Yeah.
Let me find out.
Well, your story is really, really great because it worked out. So many times with the way that life is now, you know, women have everything that they can need. You know, they can work for themselves, they can work for other people, they can own their own stuff, do whatever they want to. Like, it's very easy for both sides. Oh, hold on. Is that better?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's very easy for both sides to just be like, you know what, I don't have to deal with this. And like, why would you intentionally choose somebody to become a problem out of the gate? If you see red flags out the gate, and I'm supposed to be a person that looks at habits that are a problem, why would I deliberately choose somebody when there's like billions or millions of people on earth? Why would I deliberately choose somebody I know is going to be a problem off the gate?
Yep.
That relationship only worked because you were willing to make changes. If you were not willing to make changes, you would not be in the position that you are in. Because I would say in the environment that you were in, you were conditioned to be that way. This is how you move. This is how you survived. Once you saw that you did not necessarily have to be that way in order for you to continue to grow and get the things that you needed and that you wanted, you know what I'm saying? You made the adjustment, you know? And I just think that too often, like, even when men are trying to be men, quote unquote, like, we have to make decisions based on a case by case basis. You might look like a fine girl. You might have the potential to be the woman that I want. But realistically speaking, you know, we take a risk whether we decide to lead or not, whether we choose to lead or help or do whatever it is that we need to do for your needs. It's like we have to make smart decisions in our day-to-day life, because if you choose the wrong woman, it's very easily your life can be over pretty quickly. So I don't think that it is wise for brothers to see clear problematic behavior and just be like, I'm gonna give it a chance.